Right, welcome to my basement workshop. I desperately need to clean up. As you can probably tell, I have been a little messy and I haven't been cleaning up after myself, so I hope you enjoy watching me clean up so I can get a lot of other fun things for the garden. A masochant also. My daughter will be playing in the background. She's currently practicing with the tape measure. I want to thank my dad. He came to visit me when I was not just married, but I think Olivia was a baby. And my dad, if you don't know him, is extremely handy. And he was like, "Where are your tools?" And I went like this. And I was like, "Do you mean these tools?" And he's like, "Oh, okay." So he's like, "You need an impact driver." And my husband and I have a 3D printing business, which is currently not active, but really cool 3D printed organization stuff. And this was another gift, one of my favorite tools. I'm just gonna put this up here. right, so now that we have a nice clean work surface, I want to just finish up at least this one today because my son will probably be waking up in the next half an hour. I realized I'm actually using my old deck boards. I removed one of them and I had to replace it. Part of it had broken, and then with the wood warping and everything, it was like coming up, so I tore it up and I am now using that wood to build some of my birdhouses. I'm using the pressure treated wood here that I'm pretty sure I got for free. So I don't remember the last time I bought pressure treated wood. And the deck board that I replaced was cut to size. So there was no offcuts. Anyway, I'm using that, and then just some scrap wood here. And this is only my second one because it was taking a lot longer than I anticipated, because I'll tell you why. Because I was too lazy and I was not pre-drilling my holes. I'm also using the incorrect kind of hardware. I'm using, what is it called? Drywall screws. And very coarse thread, which I thought would be fine, but turns out it's not splitting the new wood, you know, but it is splitting some of the older wood. And I think if I pre-drill, I can still use the rest of my drywall screws, because eventually I'll run out and have to get more, so I might as well just get some like wood screws. I did try nailing because I have so many nails, and they're like galvanized deck nails, I think. They're not that long, they're like this long. That was not working. It was not working at all. It was like bouncing all over the place. I was like, I think a brad nailer would do really, really well for this. I printed out and subsequently spilled coffee on, but I printed out a plan from the Cornell Lab Nest Watch, because obviously certain birds need certain sizes of holes, and they like, you know, they like their nests to be, or their birdhouse to be attached to a building, or attached to a dead tree, or attached to a live tree or a structure, and they want to be 5 to 8 feet off the ground, or they want to be really high off the ground, or they want to be in the middle of I don't know, on a pole somewhere, you know. So I am slightly following this. What's cool about this plan is that they have a pivot nail, so you can actually like lift it up, and there's a nail or screw at the bottom to keep the side closed. I did not do that because I'm not that great at following directions. I'm like, oh, that's a nice like plan. And my husband will tell you, building our chicken run, I was like, oh, I'll figure it out. And then he's like, no, there's like actually math that you have to follow. And I was like, so then finally I did, and it all worked out. So once I finish this one up, I'm actually going to try to be following more of that plan, if not perfect dimensions, at least like putting this side on last or something and having like it pivot, because it would be so nice to be able to like open it and see the nest when it's all done, because you don't want to be touching it, getting your smells all over it. But you know, after the end of the season, clean it out if it needs to be cleaned. But I don't think that's going to happen for this one. So I think if I'm going to have to clean it out, I'm just going to have to zip, take some screws out, which will not be easy. So actually, it'll probably be easier just to take the front off of those. So anyway, I'm actually going to start pre-drilling because, yeah, I'm sick of wasting wood at splitting it. But anyway, I hope you enjoy. so now that I'm done my completely enclosed box here, I'm going to be measuring an inch down from the middle, in the middle on this front side, and drilling a hole. Now the size of the hole that you put is going to determine what kinds of birds will want to make a home. On my plan here, it says entrance hole diameter is 1 inch for house wrens, brown-headed nuthatches, and pygmy nuthatches. So 1 inch is like little tiny birds, not like a hummingbird, but smaller birds. 1 1/8 diameter for all chickadees, Bewick's wren, 1 1/4 diameter for white-breasted nuthatch, red-breasted nuthatch, prothonotary warbler, all titmouse species, and flying squirrel. How cool would it to be have flying? No. I take that back. Squirrels alone cause enough damage. I don't need them to have the use of flight as well. Entrance holes larger, 1 1/4 inch and larger will admit house sparrows, so only use a larger diameter in heavily wooded areas where there are few house sparrows. All right, welcome back to my workshop. It's another day. I was in the process of telling you that different birds need different size holes, the entrance holes. So the bigger gauge of hole you have, obviously the bigger species of birds that will want to make a home in here. So I'm not looking for massive birds really on my property. I would love more, goldfinches and chickadees, things like that. So I'm going to be making a 1 inch hole with my hole saw. I do have 1 1/8 and 1 1/4 inch hole saws, but they're not all set up like this. And I think this is 2 inches or 1.5 inches, which is a little bit too big. 1 3/8, that's way too big. But that's too big, so I'd rather start with the small one. I'm going to take my jigsaw and actually make it bigger, bit by bit. And it might be a little uneven, but I also have, I believe this is called a rat tail rasp. My dad picked this up at an estate sale when he was here with me, and he was helping me curate some tools. He's like, these are great to have, and I didn't have any of these. So I might just go through the hole and smooth out any edges that I make with my my jigsaw here. So I'm gonna make a hole and make it wider. And we are done my second one. It's a little scalloped. Yeah, this thing isn't super duper easy to work with, so I am just gonna have to figure out how to. I have a whole bag of whole saws, but I just don't know how to rig any of them up to be useful to me. You know, like that one needs a very specific component, and I don't, you know, I don't know goes with what. Like, I know how to use this. Well, do I? Because this doesn't look like it would hold my thing. I'll have to figure that out so I can drill like the actual size hole that I need. But we're not going for perfection. We're going for charm and rustic handmade. And I think I nailed the brief. So what I'm going to do now is I have a whole bunch of stain that I'm looking at, outdoor stain, and I'm just going to give these a few coats. I usually do that outside when it's all hung up. It's pretty cute. Should I measure the hole to see actually how big I ended up? There's 1 3/8, 1 4/8. Wait, no, I did that wrong. Dad, don't watch. 1, that's a quarter. That's 2 quarters. And these are 8s, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1 and 2. 1, 2, and 1 and 4/16. That math doesn't add up. Anyway. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. I'll update you if and when where it ends up. But thank you for watching. I appreciate it.